Breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. Carmelo Anthony will sign with the Portland Trail Blazers. Non-guaranteed deal for the 35-year-old. Been looking for a team ever since he was traded away from the Rockets after just 10 games last season. 10-time All-Star, former scoring champ, career averages of 24 points per game. And Carmelo Anthony is back. He's back in the NBA with the Portland Trail Blazers. Let's get some instant reaction here. Welcome to CBS Sports NBA writer Colin Ward-Henninger. Colin, Carmelo Anthony's back. Your reaction?
Shocked. This is not what I was expecting to see on a nice Thursday. I'm watching Kristaps Porzingis get booed by Knicks fans, and suddenly this comes across the ticker. But, I mean, the first thing that stands out to me is that this is kind of a desperate move by the Portland Trail Blazers. They've gotten off to a real rough start after just perennially being a solid, strong playoff team, and it looks like they're really looking to shake things up here, and going after Carmelo is something that has been kind of floated around over the past few seasons and never really seemed to gain much traction, but looked like they were in a position where they were ready to pull the trigger on that.
What can Carmelo give you at this point? 35 years old, 16-year NBA vet.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, and it's particularly having not played in the NBA for so long. It's going to be difficult for him to get back in the mix. But look, this guy's been working out. You've seen his Instagram, and he can score. He's always been able to score the ball. What he wasn't able to do in Houston, and what the Portland Trail Blazers will really need him to do, is to hit those spot-up threes. But look, outside of Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum, that team is really lacking for playmaking. So having a guy like Carmelo, who you know can get his own shot, it might not be the most analytically beautiful type of shot, but he can get his own shot. So they're going to kind of let him roam free in the second unit, I would imagine. He'll probably take some of those minutes from guys like Mario Hezonja and Anthony Tolliver, who have really been filling in at the 4 position after the injury to Zach Collins, which was just devastating for them. So it makes sense that they would try to bring someone in, and if it's a non-guaranteed deal, kind of, low risk, high reward, and just kind of roll the dice and see what happens.
Why didn't any team take a chance on him at the beginning of the season?
Well, you have to think that it has to do with something about Carmelo's personality. I think people looked at what happened in Houston as, everyone was kind of excited about that, as this is the Olympic Melo, the guy who's not going to be a ball stopper. He's going to play with the flow of the offense. And for whatever reason, it just didn't work out in Houston. I think a lot of people looked at that and said, look, if he's not willing to sacrifice with James Harden and Chris Paul, he's not going to be willing to sacrifice if he comes to our team. So, and there's also just a proliferation of wing players out there and guys who can, be more of a 3-and-D type complementary piece, whereas Carmelo has never been a good defender and obviously has struggled shooting the three-pointer. So I think up until now, there wasn't a team, as I said before, kind of desperate enough to go for Carmelo, and I think it was just kind of the perfect storm of events for the Blazers to take a risk here.
All right, so what are the realistic expectations for Carmelo Anthony with the Portland Trail Blazers?
I mean, ideally, he'd be a guy who can come in off the bench and give you some minutes, command that second unit, score the ball a little bit, don't be too much of a minus on defense. The biggest issue with him is always the locker room. And we've seen a player like Dwight Howard come out this year and kind of, at least so far, change the narrative on what his personality was like and how he fit into a team dynamic. So if Carmelo can do that, and he's going to a great culture in Portland, they signed Hassan Whiteside this offseason, which was a little outside of what they normally do, but it seems like he's fitting in okay over there. So if they can do the same thing with Carmelo, kind of bring him around these high character guys like McCollum and Lillard, and Coach Terry Stotts is wonderful out there. They can use him as kind of a bench scorer. I think that's the ideal fit for him, maybe 15, 20 minutes a night. If you're relying on him for more than that, then the Blazers are probably going to be in big trouble.
Carmelo Anthony back in the NBA, signing with the Portland Trail Blazers, hasn't played in over a year. Colin Ward-Henninger joining us here on CBS Sports HQ to break it all down. Thanks, Colin.